Welcome back to another 2.5 stars. I'm joined by
Jason
and Kelly, or not Kelly.
Erik. You know that you're half dwarf, right?
What if I'm the
Brad Pitt of dwarf kind?
Kelly, his wife, fucked it a lot.
What's up, guys? It's Steve. I had hair when I was younger.
Like, watch this, guys. I'm gonna totally make them do it.
What's up, guys? It's Steve with App Gaming, and welcome back to another 2.5 stars. I am joined by
Erik.
Kelly.
and Rick.
And this week we watched The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, directed by Michael Chaves. Written by Chives. Yep, Michael Chives. Written by David Johnson McGoldrick, James Wan, and Chad Hayes. Starring Patrick Wilson, Vera Farmiga, and Rory O'Connor. IMDb synopsis: The Warrens investigate a murder that may be linked to a dynamic. It's a dynamic. It's the lowest common denominator has killed this person.
Common denominator.
The dominator. That's a different thing completely. Look that up on the internet, kids. Murder that may be linked to a demonic possession. There we go. Finally got it out. Fuck. So what'd you guys think?
It was a whole different movie than the first two.
Yeah,
No, yeah, completely.
didn't feel the same, right?
Completely.
Yeah.
Like it was definitely not in line with the usual Conjuring movies.
It's probably because it wasn't directed by James Wan.
Yeah, this
The
guy
other two
fucked
were
it up.
directed by James Wan, and this one was not.
Yeah, this guy fucked it up.
James Wan was involved though, because I saw his name in the credits. What'd he do?
He wrote,
Oh.
but in the end, you know, the director's the one who's going to have like the creative vision and stuff. So, and it just didn't look or feel like the other ones. It had its spooky moments, but it felt
Yeah.
I have a hard time like describing the way it felt. Like, I want to say actiony movie, but it's not super actiony. It just doesn't have the suspense that the other Conjuring movies did.
No, definitely not.
Like, I feel like the first movie, like, you know, as we've talked about, it's fucking damn near perfect as a horror movie. And then the second one, it still has good parts. It's got good suspense and stuff like that, but it's not as good as the first one.
No.
And this one just didn't have any of the suspense. And then you move from having these big bads that were like supernatural beings to a human. I think it kind of downplays it. You know, it's like, oh, yeah, we fucked up these fucking demons, but now we got to fight a human. Oh, that's not that hard, actually. So,
Yeah.
That was like a witch, though.
yeah, still.
I mean, she definitely had some moves.
yeah, she had some powder.
I mean, I gotta say though, like,
Some
had
powder?
I woken up and there's some lady standing in the kitchen and I've got a cane in my hand, that lady would have had that cane in her dome before she could react.
Yeah, maybe after she made you a sandwich.
Could you imagine that? Like, you just stand there.
God damn it.
Make me a sandwich, god damn it.
The crazy thing is that she probably fucking would.
All right.
I mean, she's gonna see this huge ass brute of a fucking man in his boxers walking in there, going like, "What the fuck? Make me a
my
fucking
belly
damn
hanging
sandwich, woman."
She's definitely going to poison him, though. I mean, she's a witch.
But this is Erik we're talking about here. He's just.
We've established physically he's durable. Is he durable against poisons, though? Do we know this?
I mean, Steven, he's ingested more hydraulic fluid
Ask
and oil
Kelly.
than anyone on this planet probably has. So, I mean, I would imagine that he's pretty poison proof.
That's real nice.
Well, I'm just saying.
That's Kelly.
I mean, Kelly, you know, she definitely tries, you know. I mean, nothing's worked so far.
Erik does have the dwarf's ability to withstand a lot of damage, but does he have the dwarf's ability to get an advantage roll on poisons?
He does, Steven, he does.
I mean-
Jeez.
I don't know an alchemist, so where do I get these poisons?
God.
Usually under the sink. I find a lot of them under there.
That's as simple as it needs? Oh, okay. I've been doing it
Now,
right.
She's
I
just
mean,
like, fuck, I've been fucking like doing this the hard way. Damn.
If you want it untraceable, you're gonna have to, you know, look. You know, you have to go a little harder than that. But you know,
Once again, I mean, for the most part, I mean, you're probably just gonna make Erik crap a lot more. I mean, let's be real here. He's like, oh, I got enough to
I
stomach
don't need him
today.
in the bathroom more than already.
yeah,
No.
that's
Not
punishment for her. She's
Exactly.
all, this backfired.
Exactly. She's like, oh fuck, my stuff's a little more fucked up today. Oh well. You know?
She's just like, he can shit more? What the fuck?
So I come back home from
How
work.
is that
Kelly,
even a thing?
I shit my britches again. Can you wash them? She's like, God, fucking damn
No.
it.
That hasn't been a thing in years.
I'm actually surprised you haven't said like that hasn't been a thing in days.
I'm not Bert Kreischer. I don't shit my pants all the time.
I mean, I'm on about 2 months since the last time, so you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as you get older, it's just kind of a thing that happens all of a sudden.
I'm
Well,
less
you
than a
know,
year older
like-
than you are.
You got the shits.
like
you
3
fart,
months?
You know,
I mean,
or you
I've
just cough
seen
wrong.
you. You're genetically, you're like 100 years old.
I know. I'm just
You
about
have the
to.
body of 100-year-old.
I'm just about to the end of an energy vampire's life. All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn into mush.
Oh,
Oh man, I still need to watch that new episode.
Yeah, you
So the priest guy that has all the totems. Every time I see that guy, he makes me think of that creepo fucking evangelist, rich guy pastor.
The one that locked his fucking church up when that storm came.
Oh, Joel Austin.
No. I'm thinking of the old guy. The
Oh.
fuck, what's his name?
The fake.
The airplane
Jeez, there was
guy.
one-
The guy who was talking to the other rich priest guy, pastor guy, that was about how they need to be on private airplanes because they can't be approached by devils in a metal tube or some shit. So he has to be by himself to be able to talk to the Lord. Have you guys never seen this video? It's fucking
No, I know who
horrendous.
you're talking about. Yeah.
He
that
has the
guy.
creepiest fucking, like, if they do a movie on that guy, which they probably won't because I bet you that guy's litigious as hell. This guy should play him because he looks, I don't know, he just reminds me of him when I see him. So John
You know what's
Noble,
funny? He reminds me of Jason.
like the one we know, Jason.
Yeah. He reminds me of that guy, the pastor. You're talking about the old dude, the father.
Yeah.
He reminds me of Jason.
Oh no,
You
not
know?
not the father in this movie. I'm talking about
Oh,
I'm talking about the guy who has all the totems in his house. The guy who retired.
that's who I'm talking about.
Okay, yeah. Oh, that guy reminds you of Jason.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean,
Yeah.
I could see that. That's definitely
Yeah.
old Jason. He's definitely going to be living out there talking about having chicken shit on his hands and all this stuff.
Shit
So.
on his hands.
Have a bunch of like creepy shit in his house.
Yeah,
And then,
Mm-hmm.
he's also like gonna give up at the first sign of trouble.
Well, like I've always wanted to have, like a creepy house way out in some like creepy woods, and then like put up like creepy like little like stick figure dolls like all over the woods, and like just like put like weird shit all over the place, like some altars and shit like that. So like any trespassers come out there, they're gonna like, what the fuck, and they're not gonna want to be out there anymore.
Either that, or you're going to attract Satanists and other people doing rituals.
I mean, like
and shit
honestly,
like that.
like I'm hoping like the worst case scenario happens, and I attract I'm what are those things called from that movie we watched.
Ricky's hoping for.
Wendigo?
Ricky's
Yeah.
hoping for one of those Wiccan
Wendigo.
naked dance things that they do at like solstice.
Ricky's
stuff.
hoping for the witch from this lady to just show up at his house, and he's like, "You entered a world of hurt, woman."
Is this going to be another what's that comedy fucking horror movie we watched? Damn it.
Tucker
Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Yeah. Ricky's going to be like all super nice out there and stuff, and they think it's
Yeah.
super creepy.
Well, it's what's creepy. So my grandparents, I don't know if you guys have heard of like the that group. Oh my god, I can't remember the name. There's like the Bohemian Grove or whatever. That where they have all the rich people and they do their Satanist rituals in Sonoma County.
Uh-huh.
Okay, my grandparents' ranch is like 3 air miles away from that.
Oh, fuck
Nice.
that.
So we're walking with my uncle out there in their woods, and there's this one spot on their property that's like it's just past. Well, anyways, it's on their property, and the second you start in this little area, I mean, you get like the hair on the back of your neck stands up, and we're walking, and we all noticed, like my brother and I, which it's Robert, so like that should tell you something. And then my uncle were like, God, it's a little creepy in here. And then we found a bunch of stick figures and like weird shit on their property. And my uncle's like, who the fuck has been out here? Better stay asleep out here with a gun and fucking let them know. I don't know what he did or not, but it was pretty fucking creepy seeing that shit. Like seeing it in real life, where you're like, "That's weird looking," and it's really fucking creepy.
Uh-huh.
The same property I went on?
Yeah,
What?
I can show you the spot.
Should we go out there and like film a little video documentary thing for next Halloween?
Jesus Christ.
Eric's like, no.
Oh.
I mean, we could do it the day before Halloween. I don't know about actual.
No,
Halloween.
I didn't
That's
mean like on
scary.
Halloween. I just meant go out there
Oh, I thought you
sometime
meant, like,
before.
Halloween night.
No,
And so it's like, why are there like hundreds of weirdos out here?
No,
I'm
I meant like
I don't know.
we film it sometime before Halloween, and we just not close to Halloween. I don't know, like near the beginning of the year, I guess, when it's not raining and shit like that, and then we just use
You're
it
just
as a
setting
video.
up.
Yeah, we just use it for a video later on in the year. So
You look
What's
off
the
in the
opposite of
distance and you
Halloween?
just see me over
Easter?
there just hitting on any of the chicks that are over there, and next thing you know, they'll all just pack up and leave. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, really?
Ricky's
Not
like,
even-
hey, do you want to go to my dungeon? I mean, house.
Uh-huh. It's like, what the fuck? It's like fucking not even Satanists wanting you want any of this. Like, you think, ginger and all, like, I think they'd be into that, but
you gotta have a ginger cow out there, Ricky.
yeah. Well, then I'm gonna start the apocalypse, though.
Oh, that's
Can't be
scary.
doing that.
Oh man. So
So I thought this movie, I liked it. It wasn't as scary.
It was
I will
okay.
say some of the stuff. Well, I mean, if you compare it to a horror movie, basically almost any horror movie before the year 2010. I mean, this is a great horror movie.
No, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, it's just like nowadays they really like
well,
The Conjuring made everybody go, "Oh, that's what you can do in a movie."
yeah.
yeah.
Holy shit!
But it's like the thing is like it's so fucking hard to fucking like recreate that kind of like feeling you get from the original Conjuring without just copying the Conjuring. Just fucking slapping a different fucking look on it. It's I mean it's kind of difficult. They've kind of just they've done it. They've made the scary movie, and now past that you really can't fucking do much past that.
Well, yeah. I mean, what I like is they
Don't like
didn't
not all?
resort to like the horror, or not horror, but like gore, or what do you call that? What's
Yeah,
the name of
yeah.
that?
Suspense?
Yeah. No, it's like
What?
where
just-
they just get more brutal, and it's just like cutting people's fingers off, or just getting more like shit you don't really want to look at.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just
I
gore
know
stuff
it's
like Saw
Yeah.
and Hostel
Yeah.
and stuff like that. No,
Yeah.
Ricky, I was just looking at your hands that have receded into your sleeves like
Oh.
you're like a 12-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at the camera and I'm like, did
I
Ricky
do
paint
that.
his hands blue or green or something like that? And then I realized because I looked at your other hand
Yeah,
and I could see your fingertips in that one. But I was like, what the fuck is going on over here?
Steve's like, wait, are my eyes green screen now?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oh man. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I liked it. I thought I will say some of the stuff was a little on like too easy to suss out was going to happen. Like
Yeah.
you get creepy old dude, and I'm like, okay, there's something up with him.
Yeah.
That's not good. And then like she didn't want to go down the stairs,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I'm like, okay, they're going to be here at the end of the movie.
Well, and his explanation is the worst because he says it's taking guns off the street or whatever. Literally every one of those if they were burnt, it couldn't be used again. It's not like the as far as I could tell, it's not like the fucking shit that they have in the in their house, that they bless all the time. This is just like a bunch of fucking sticks and bone that they could just burn up, and I imagine it would get rid of because it has to be like attached to a witch or whatever, right?
Yeah.
At least all so if you burn them all, then they can't be used again. But he was protecting his that was his daughter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at least, I mean, I don't know. I think there's definitely a line where you're like, I don't give a fuck if you're my kid. That's too much.
Yeah. Definitely.
You know what I mean?
You're summoning
So-
demons, right? Yeah, you're done.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Or you killed a lady,
Yeah.
That's not going to cut it. I mean, it's like, it depends. Obviously, it would depend on circumstances. Like, if, the lady broke into her house and then she beat her to death with a hammer, Well, yeah, I mean, she broke into your house.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's go
Fair's
get the
fair
fucking
at
yeah,
that
exactly.
point.
Let's go
Yeah.
get the backhoe and just
like,
never speak of
yeah.
this again.
But like when you're, or even like you come home, like the woman comes home and she's on top of the husband, and then you beat her to death with a hammer. I mean, you could at least be like,
Crime of
well, that
passion.
wasn't a good call, but it is what it is. But like when you're using like witchcraft to kill somebody, or just like poisoning random people, or Nurse Ratchet crap, it's like, okay, time to take you off the fucking off the plane here. You just need to be like, nope. And that's a rough one. Now, especially, I mean, and how nice would it be to have somebody else show up to solve the problem? You know what I mean? Like, that guy at that point could have been like, well, as it would happen, I'm pretty sure my daughter did this. She's down there in those tunnels. Her altar's down there. Have at it. And,
Yeah.
that guy, at that point, it'd be like, well, he wouldn't have died.
Yeah. I'm like,
Creepy
honestly,
old
like,
fuck.
I mean, I think this is just a cautionary tale, like, don't give your children, dark, spooky tunnels. I mean, they're going to start getting into some weird shit. So, I mean, if your kid comes and asks you, for a dark, spooky tunnel, like, don't do it.
I mean, I've seen two stories where they have dark, spooky tunnels, and both of them, they get up to no good.
Exactly.
I mean, it's just that's probably a good point, Ricky.
Yeah, I know.
No dark, spooky tunnels.
No,
that's a good idea.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, go off and explore them if you want to, but you don't get to own one. It's just what it is, I mean.
What are they asking it for their birthday?
Yeah.
Please have a dark, spooky tunnel for my
birthday. Like, I wanted one as a kid, but our family was too poor to get me one, so I had to.
Said no last year.
So I just had to settle with some dark, spooky woods, and then the Blair Witch came out the next year.
Well, I mean, what do you think would be going through why would some witch want to be doing any of this?
Like, how does it benefit them?
Yeah. What's the motivation?
Boredom. That's just boredom.
So she was trading souls for something. What was she trading them for?
Snickers.
Was she getting power out of this? Was she getting something out of this? Snickers.
Social media likes?
Social media likes. Like and subscribe, fam.
I mean, maybe so random. I mean, maybe the people were actually targets. Of like people on social media go like, yeah, like I'm like and subscribe me, I'll kill off that person that you hate, and then boom, that's what she does.
This is the worst death note ever.
Yeah.
Ricky, even in that vein, but even worse, her last name is Zuckerberg.
Oh god. Oh god.
Yeah, this was 1980. So,
Yeah. So now we see the new shit there with the whole meta.
Oh yeah.
First shit that he's spouting off now.
Yeah, he's gonna get that Oasis going.
Except
it's gonna look like the Oasis that IOI wanted, not that they made at Gregarious Games, and it's gonna have all kinds of ads and crazy shit
like, I swear
taken
to God,
out. But
fucking Facebook makes Oasis, it's gonna be the biggest pile of fucking shit out there. Honestly, and like honestly, we're gonna have to just become indebted to them. So we have to work in their fucking factory, fucking slave setting there, so we can take them down from the inside. Like honestly, that's just gonna be the only option at that point.
I mean, the thing is, they don't have the headset. Elon Musk, who hates Facebook, is the one who's going to make the headset.
Yeah,
and it's
it's going to be, a fucking toss up between, Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg, like who gets to own the Oasis.
That's more like the headset from the second one, though.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that's because they can. I don't think you could make a headset like the first one. I don't think that would work. Like shooting lasers into your eyeballs is not a good plan. We're not doing LASIK surgery. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Maybe somebody knows something. I don't know, but I don't think that is people's. Well, maybe somebody can get a screen technology. I haven't used one of those things.
It's pretty. It's pretty immersive once you get into it and stuff, and it gets pretty immersive. So. I could see
how good a vision do you have? Like, do you have better than average vision, or just 20/20, or?
Yeah, it's pretty much 20/20. It's there. It's I have an issue seeing far away, so it doesn't affect me because
Okay, but I mean that's okay. So
Yeah.
like, I can see pixels on most screens
Mhm.
pretty easily. I mean, so like 4K was nuts because it was like I couldn't actually see the pixels anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been like, well, I don't know because I think I'll just see the pixels the whole time.
Eric, are
'cause
you
my
trying to
stupid eyesight.
are you trying to pull a fucking a Jason here and be like, well, I can see this here, so the entire thing is just ruined. It's just no good. It's
Well,
stupid.
no, I mean
it's the
just
fucking
not gonna
dumbest
be the
fucking thing
same.
ever.
No, I don't think. I mean, I don't know. Maybe maybe I just need to eat a bunch more sugar and diabetes my eyes a little bit more, and I'll be fine.
I mean, Eric, just take a couple more blows to the head with a fucking hot saw blade, and I think you'll be there already.
I don't
So
think that. I don't think that dampens your vision. I think that just makes you more dumber.
So each eye is 1832 by 1920, 3.5 megapixels. So it's not 4K. So you might, I don't know.
What?
I just can look at it. We'll give it I mean, I'll
Yeah.
be more than willing to. I know you guys don't have pink eye, so I'm willing to try it. Every
Yeah.
time I pick one up in the store, I just have visions of me having pink eye and then having to tell people, no, I didn't get it from scratching my ass. I got it from putting a headset on at the store, and then having everybody go, what are you, fucking stupid? Why would you have done that?
Oh man.
Because that's exactly what would happen to me. The kid would be in there with his finger in his asshole scratching it and then like rubbing his eyes. And then I'd put the headset on. I'm like, God, this thing smells like an energy vampire used it.
God damn it.
So, I mean, I talked about this with you today, Steve. I think that they need to make a Batman movie where they have the villain be the main character of the movie, and then they make Batman really fucking scary.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just to because I mean, one of the things that I always thought was cool about Batman in the animated series is he would, I mean, it's a fucking animated series, so he could do cool shit that's obviously fake. But you could do that in a movie,
especially
you could have
nowadays
him
with the fucking special effects and shit we have. I mean, you
Yeah.
can do it and make it look good. It
And I
wouldn't
think
be
they-
fucking
if they're
Adam
gonna-
West fucking walking across the stage with a fucking rope in his hand like he's walking up the side of a building.
You know they still do that
yeah.
in some things, right?
Well, they do, but all the same though, you know what I mean? It's just, like you could actually, make it look a lot fucking, better.
Yeah, and I mean, it'd be cool to have I was thinking about this. I think they should have some parkour guys that do Batman chase scenes where he's chasing somebody on foot, but they're like in a car and he parkours across buildings.
Well, like
And
honestly,
then,
like
I
if you
mean-
think about Batman, like from like the villain's perspective, like he's pretty much like a fucking demon. Like he comes out.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
He's this
Yeah.
dark, shadowy fucking figure that comes out of fucking nowhere, beats the living shit out of you and your fucking buddies, and then just fucking disappears again.
Well, you see in like the Batman versus Superman one where he gets the criminal and the criminal just like puts his stuff down. He's like, "I'm sorry."
Yeah,
Nope, I'm not. Sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
not
like he
doing
totally
this.
knows like I don't want to have my fucking jaw wired fucking shut and have to like not be able to breathe properly because I have like 5 broken fucking ribs and like I'll never be able to eat right ever again. Like, this is cool,
Yeah.
because like you're not gonna kill me, but the damage will fucking last. Because let's be
part of
real
it
here,
is, like-
fucking Batman maims people.
Well, yeah, and the thing is, Batman isn't a fair fighter
Oh hell no.
because he doesn't have a gun. That's the
No.
thing. They need to have it how in Predator 2 they start off with all those dudes in the buildings with guns,
Mm-hmm.
and of course it's broad daylight. You'd have to do it at night, but seeing a fucking thing where Batman gets rid of 30 dudes in the space of, I don't know, a minute, where he just in the shadows and they just fucking go into the shadows and
Yeah, he's just
disappear.
jumping down, fucking kicking the crap out of one person, disappearing again. Next thing you know, he's on the other
Yeah.
side of the fucking room, kicking the crap out of the dude over there, disappearing again. It's like literally like
Yeah, and they're just what the fuck?
no,
you
yeah,
know?
it's like they're gonna be like, this is some supernatural fucking shit here. Like he's a goddamn demon, just come down here to fucking beat the living shit out of us.
Well,
Like,
what would be
the fuck?
cool, I think would be good is if they had James Wan do it, they could have the movie where you don't know it's Batman until you're in the movie theater because they don't, use anybody's names. Like, you know, it could just be a group of criminals, right? And you could figure out, I'm sure, you know, there's like a bazillion fucking Batman villains. Like, for instance, basically this could be the setup for a Bane movie, but you have Batman like terrifying people.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, I mean, and if you're just like, what the fuck is getting all these guys? And have them not seem terrible. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, have them not seem like, oh, these are obviously bad guys. Just have them seem like military trained dudes that some guy is taking out. And they're like, how the fuck is he doing this? This has got to be some kind of a demon or something. I think that would be a fucking great movie.
Oh no, yeah.
Yeah, and
Like,
it would be
honestly,
a game
like-
changer for Batman.
Yeah, like honestly, I was kind of hoping they were gonna do shit like that with like the whole like Dark Knight and shit like that, you know. Like
Yeah.
that's kind of what I was hoping was gonna come from those, was just to see like this super dark fucking just scary fucking Batman, pretty much. You know what I mean? Like, but that kind of wasn't the case.
And I mean, I'd love to see it if they got, you know, Ben Affleck, some dude as big as him that's fucking like somebody that if you walk around a corner and like the lightning flashes and they're standing in the corner, you go, oh fuck, you know. Whereas Robert Pattinson, you're gonna be like, why is there, you know, what are you doing in here, teenage guy?
Yeah, we were talking
Get the
about
fuck
today.
outta here.
Really, the only way this is gonna, I mean, it might be fine. I don't want to like shit on it. It could be all right. Who knows? But I think it would be better if this Pattinson movie was actually Damian Wayne, and then he's just taking over the Batman mantle, and then we've got a darker, grittier Batman where he doesn't give a shit about killing somebody.
Is this the younger Batman? Like the
this
Batman...
is Batman's kid. This is Bruce's kid.
Okay, that wasn't Batman Beyond,
With-
was it?
No.
With
That-
Talia al Ghul, dude, like Ra's al Ghul's daughter.
The assassin lady.
Yeah, so Damian's like, he's been wasting people since he was a kid. So he's a psycho.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's like pretty physically capable, even though he's not a very big dude.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. Some of that like sounds really neat, but I mean, if you're a certain size and you grab somebody by the, like, if they're there and you can get a hold of them, like, for instance, if you're like wrestling around with like that, even as unathletic as like the guy who plays the mountain appears to be when he's boxing, if that dude gets a hold of you, he can like literally snap most people's arms.
Oh yeah.
Or just grab your face and smash it into stuff. And I mean, you're going to go out eventually. It's not going to be a fun way either.
Yeah.
Now, like a really, really good jujitsu guy, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I would actually really love to see that. I've seen one where they had about a 250-pound strongman versus 190-pound like one of the best jiu-jitsu guys, and the jiu-jitsu guy was doing okay. Like, he won the thing because he choked the guy out. Now, this wasn't a psycho killer. This was like a strongman, and they had rules and stuff. So I'm kind of curious what would happen if this, because the guy's nuts.
Yeah, if it was
For
just
some
kind of
of
like
these
a
jujitsu
no holds
moves-
bar fucking deal. Like,
Yeah,
go all fucking
Like,
out. Like, you're
the
out to
dude's
fucking
eyeballs. Yeah, the dude's eyeballs and nuts were within the strongman's grip at any point.
kill. Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, you get a hold of some dude's fucking nutsack and they're gonna go down.
Oh
Now the crappy part is like, it takes a minute, so it's not like, I mean, the eyeballs don't. You're pretty much done right away. Those things are like, they're pretty sensitive. Your nuts, on the other hand, they can take a beating, and you guys have had that happen when you get kicked in the nuts, and about 30 seconds later,
Just when the
so, I mean,
real fucking vomit-inducing pain actually hits you.
oh yeah. It's gonna happen. So it's like, if you're attacking
yeah.
somebody, you're like, I have about 30 seconds to finish this.
To just fucking just hit him as
Yeah.
hard as I possibly can before I
I'll
drop.
grab his nuts
and
too,
puke
and then
my
we can
fucking
both
brains
sit there and
out.
go, oh.
Yeah.
But the thing about like I gotta say, so that exorcism tape at the end was pretty fucking scary sounding.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, how the fuck is, some what I really wish we had for scientists were people who were genuinely curious, who didn't think they already knew stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if we just had more
really-
people that just like follow the fucking whole belief of like the absence of evidence is the evidence of absence, they'd be like, well, look, like, yeah, I have no evidence to support this, but honestly, who fucking knows? So let's just take this from a scientific point of view and see what we can fucking see if we can actually fucking figure something out. Like, maybe, yeah, maybe it's
here's
not
the
ghosts,
thing.
maybe it's not demons, maybe it's something else. Maybe for all the fuck we know, it's a goddamn another fucking dimension that temporarily fucking like touches
Maybe
our
that's
dimension
what
and it
demons
causes
are.
fucking crazy fucking shit to happen.
Yeah. Maybe that's what demons
Yeah.
are. They're literally like, I mean,
Just
that's kind of what they're described as.
Yeah, it's
is like-
just a life form from a different dimension that accidentally touched ours, and then we see that crossover, and everyone's like, "Oh, fucking ghost" or some shit like that, and they're like, "It's ectoplasm," and really, it's just the fucking the splooge from a fucking another fucking universe touching ours, and
I mean, my whole thing is like, if everybody would just take a second and go, this is they could even say this is ridiculous, but like if they did a good job documenting stuff,
yeah.
that just because something is incredibly rare doesn't mean that it didn't happen. If you look at like, here's one that scientists love, the Big Bang. As far as I know, that's only happened one time out of like what, billions of years, maybe trillions. I don't know how many years. So like,
yeah.
why not go with stuff like people have said they've seen, that we've seen for like thousands of years?
Well, yeah, it's kind of just like the whole like even like the whole like Bigfoot and Loch Ness monster thing like that. It's like, all right, like new species are discovered all the motherfucking time. Like it may not be exactly what everyone thinks it fucking is, but who are we to fucking say that there's not some fucking really rare fucking wood ape up fucking north in the fucking fucking forest up there and shit like that? Yeah, like who's the fucking say there's not some giant fucking like prehistoric fish monster that still lives in fucking brackish water? I mean, look at the fucking alligators and shit. Those things have been remained unchanged since like fucking forever. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's like literally like you want to see what a prehistoric creature looks like. Go look at a fucking alligator or crocodile. That's what a prehistoric creature
Or
looks
even
like.
a chicken.
Yeah. It's like, I mean fucking
chickens are like-
scientists fucking augmented
they're
a
just like-
chicken's fucking DNA to instead of growing feathers, to grow scales. They literally brought it back to a fucking dinosaur pretty much.
Dinosaurs might have just had feathers.
Honestly,
They
it's
might have
proven
just
that they
been
do.
running around looking like chickens.
Velociraptors were covered in fucking feathers, apparently.
So the thing is, like, you could definitely convince me that there's a secretive tribe of Native Americans in the Northwest, right?
Oh, yeah.
That are that like that wouldn't even like take that much to convince me that, because I've been out in the woods, and you would be surprised at what people don't see.
It's pretty
They'll
fucking
walk
damn
right by-
easy to fucking stay
Yeah.
hidden out there.
I was so one time I'm out there, I'm taking a shit. Okay, and I'm sitting there looking at my phone, and I hear some people walking by. And I'm like, for fuck's sakes, I stop and take a shit, and I'm not in a great spot either, and I can't just like finish because like things are happening. And I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna fucking, listen to them be like, oh, you're taking a shit. Oh, and they walked by, and they definitely didn't see me.
No, yeah.
They just walked. They were like 10 feet away. They didn't see me.
No, yeah.
And I froze because I know how people are. Because, they're not like woods people. They were people out on a walk.
Yeah.
And since I wasn't moving, they did not see me.
So
and
are
I
you
was
saying
like,
rich people vision is based on movement?
well, I mean, human beings' vision is largely movement based. You know how it is if you're hunting, and you see there's a deer standing right there, and then when the thing's ear twitches, you're like, oh my god,
shit.
it's right there.
No, oh
Where
yeah,
the fuck
dude.
did
Oh
that
yeah.
come from?
No, yeah,
Yeah.
dude, trust me. It's
So
it
like
fucking
that's what
gets you.
happened, and I
Right.
just went completely stiff because I didn't want them to fucking see me.
You
And I'm
stiff,
like, are
huh?
you kidding me? Oh yeah, definitely. Full on stiffness. So anyways, they went by, and I'm like, are you kidding me? They're like, so I could have, and I'm like, holy fuck, I hope there's not a Bigfoot standing like right there completely still. I won't even see it.
There's a Bigfoot
You know?
standing behind, just rubbing his nipples, just like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's like, I'm stiff too, buddy.
Like,
Or even worse,
fuck.
like, snoo.
Oh god.
She's over there like, bring a bucket and a mop.
Eric's just like, I'm scaroused.
Oh! Oh, you know. So yeah, I don't know, man. Just the whole, like, if you just dismiss everything. I mean, my favorite real thing that I've been listening to this year is like, so the Pentagon admitted they've been looking for that, they have some wreckage from something that wasn't made, that we didn't make. They admitted that in a New York Times article, right? So here's the other part of it, is that as after the aftermath of that is that the military, like some military analysis, and a Secretary of Defense was on Joe Rogan's podcast saying, like, they didn't cover anything up. They did one even worse. Everybody just ignored it because they didn't want to look like an asshole. So like tons of pilots would see shit and be like, "Oh, that's weird. Well, I'm not going to say anything."
Well, no,
because I don't want to be a dick.
Shit ton of fucking records now from not only just like private, but from actual like military aircraft and shit like that, like video footage and all their recording from like them like reporting it in, like the ones that actually did, like and like they fully released all this shit to the public now, and they're like, yeah, like this shit's been happening since fucking forever. We see like pilots and shit like that. We'll see these really strange craft fly through that are well beyond any technological fucking advancement that we or anyone else in the world that we know of has. Like, we don't know if this is just another government's top secret fucking shit. It's another branch of our government testing something. Like, we don't know because it's all, fucking segmented, so we don't fucking know what the hell's going on in anything, else. Like, they don't fucking know what the fuck is up with it. All they know is multiple fucking pilots have reported this shit for fucking ever now. And we don't know what these things are or why they're here, why they're flying around. Like, we don't know shit about it. We don't know jack. Like,
so then you get, like, I'm using air quotes, scientists who, like, I mean, here's the thing. If they are on the TV and they say we don't have any evidence for or against aliens, right? Other than eyewitness sightings. Okay? I can take that as an answer. That's a legit answer. If you're on there and you say, well, you just can't get here from there, it's impossible, then it's obvious you're talking out of your ass.
No, yeah.
I'm going to tell you right now, if we were going to get smashed by a fucking meteor and our planet, every human on it decided, instead of just like having a fuck party until the asteroid got here, instead of doing that, I mean, that's what we would do.
No, yeah,
I'm
totally.
not going to lie to myself, but let's just say that we all decided we're going to work really hard and make a fucking generation ship. I mean, for crying out loud, you could basically weld together container boxes and fill them up with lead in like orbit, and fill up the outer ones with lead, and then figure out some way to regenerate oxygen, which I'm sure somebody already knows how to do.
You can.
And just have a shitload of them. I mean, we're talking like, and then just launch the motherfucking, like, and then just put nuclear, because guess what? We've had nuclear rockets since the 60s. A guy named Stanton Friedman worked on them. They've had them. And if you have a giant, like, super lead-lined ship, you can have the nuclear rocket on that motherfucker.
And do you know what the greatest part about using a nuclear rocket is? Is that your fucking energy source actually will provide you all the fucking warmth your ship is gonna fucking need, and safely and consistently too. Like,
well, the other part of it is like
insanely fucking safe. Like, we can literally just recycle the fucking rods that we're using on that fucking engine, and literally just be like, oh, well, that rod's out. We'll fucking put the new one in, and then we'll take that old rod and we'll fucking recycle it. And then, we can use it again here, another like 800 fucking years when this one we just put in there fucking craps out on us, And so like every 800 years, we'll just replace the fucking rod. We'll keep just generating all of our electricity and warmth and everything else we fucking need.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, that's what's interesting about this whole thing is, like, if money wasn't an object, you could get the human race to a different star system.
Oh, God,
for sure.
Oh, God, yeah.
I mean, would it take a long time?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, like, if money wasn't
would
a fucking
any
object,
of the people
like, we
who
could
left
set up a fucking colony on any planet within our solar system.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is, like, here's the other part of it is, if you have to make that ship because the Earth is going to get nuked, and we've found some planet that's supposed to work, none of the people who were alive on the ship to begin with are going to see the new planet because it's going to take a long time.
No, yeah, it's gonna take
right?
like fucking like 1,000 fucking generations to actually fucking get there, but whatever.
Well, yeah, it's just going to take I mean, the weird thing about super fast travel, though, is like the closer you get to the speed of light, the less time you experience
Yeah, you got the time
as
dilation.
the person. So, like, the person on the ship, I mean, that's what's so weird about it, right? Is like, for us on Earth,
Yeah.
you like for instance, if human beings, let's just say we had a rocket or a light speed capable dude, I don't know, like 100,000 years ago, and this dude goes like 50,000 light years and then comes back, I think that works out to he'd show up now and be like, well, it worked. But everybody I knew and loved has been dead for 100,000 years,
He'd be like,
and I'm
yeah, like
still
I
the
was out
same
there for
dude.
maybe like a month, and
Yeah.
I came back after about a month, and now it's like fucking 50 fucking years later. So
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yes. So that part of it's pretty fucking weird, but like that is how
No,
I mean, they
actually
have
that's
to
one of the
change-
arguments that fucking that's one of the arguments that kind of like they try to use with saying that like this is actually all just a fucking simulation. Is that the closer you get to the speed of light, it fucking causes the simulation to error out because like nothing is meant to go that speed. Like, well, at least no physical mass is meant to be able to accelerate to that point. So it's kind of like one of the theories is to like we're actually all just in a fucking super complex computer simulation, and like the fact that we can't reach light speed, and the fact that when you get closer to it, time starts doing weird fucking things in the universe, literally gets to a point where almost nothing fucking makes sense anymore. I mean, particles do not, behave in the way that they should when you get near light speed at all. So it's like we're just pretty much like airing out the system when we do that. Like, so
that would make some sense, except like the errors wouldn't be something you could plan on.
Well,
so
no.
like with satellites circling,
Yeah.
they actually program the satellites to calculate time differently because they're going fast.
Well, yeah,
and then there's also
the further away
difference
from
in
mass that you
gravity.
get, time travels differently because there's less gravity.
Yeah.
Like time and gravity,
and it's going fast, so that both of them they had to change that.
Exactly, time,
So I don't
gravity,
know.
and speed are all intertwined. Like they're pretty much just part of the same fucking whole. Like like when you
weird.
manipulate one, you're manipulating the others. So it's and if you manipulate it to the extreme, that's when you see huge, strange differences in one of those other aspects that you wouldn't normally have seen.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, I don't know. I hope in the new era of maybe people being a little bit less closed-minded about that stuff.
Well,
maybe we'll find
with
some
the
stuff
current...
out. I mean, if you look at like, here's the thing, if some scientists one of the things about big tech that I really wish they would do is like you not have some guy trying making money off of some of this data.
No, yeah.
Because some of the data you could definitely get everybody's stuff together and make some really weird realizations.
No,
like,
yeah.
It might turn out that everybody who's born on such and such day and this and whatever day have like 100 million times chance of a heart attack. Obviously, that's not one of them, but like it could be a confluence of things.
Well, no, yeah. I
but
mean, like
it
maybe
would make
like
a discovery.
Exactly, like maybe like one nation fucking discover like one part of, say, maybe like fucking like I don't know, like gravity manipulation. Like they don't have the full fucking part of it, but they discovered one small little aspect of like of like how it could be done. Well, maybe another nation discovered a different aspect of how it could be done. They won't talk to each other about their discoveries, but if they did, they would realize, holy shit, together we just discovered how to fucking manipulate fucking gravity. You know what I mean?
Or like maybe they do like some AI does a really in-depth analysis of all these exorcism tapes.
Yeah.
And some of them have some quality that we didn't know to look for, but because machines can look into stuff with depth people don't have.
Well, I mean, like honestly, it's unbiased
or whatever.
It's completely unbiased. There's no kind of like decision, like because like humans like automatically, whether you want to or not, are already going to be predisposed to make up a decision on something before you even really look in depth. You're like, oh well, the chances are it's just going to be this. You know what I mean? Like, it's like we already pretty much made up our mind before we even really start looking into something. Like, and that's when we get kind of tripped up, and when it doesn't come to that conclusion where we have troubles. Where a machine doesn't do that. It's just like, this is the data I'm presented with. Here's my analysis. This is what I found. These are these similarities between everything that I've analyzed. These are the differences. There you fucking go. And then we're like, holy fucking shit! Like, how could we be so stupid and not saw all these fucking similarities between all this shit? That actually helps us fucking explain all this now.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that's interesting, one of the theories about consciousness is like, does the consciousness emanate from the human being, or is the brain like a radio that captures the signal and then shits it out?
Yeah.
So basically, like, are we actually in our bodies?
Yeah. Well, maybe
or
it's
are
more,
we
well,
just
maybe not like
catching
a
the signal?
Yeah, well, maybe not like a transmitter or something like that. Maybe like a processor. Like,
No,
there's
like
a signal out
we're
there.
a TV.
Yeah.
Like, we're the TV,
Yeah.
and the signal's coming into us from something else. So, that makes kind of like some of the possession stuff a little weird.
I mean, well,
'Cause
honestly,
it's like,
it also kind
what
of.
if the guy's just like one of those pirate guys, like on that used cars show,
Yeah.
where they're intercepting the channel and like, hey, look, there's titties on there.
Yeah.
Except, it's a really bad thing.
Yeah. Well, honestly, like,
You
really
know?
kind of also would go into the whole fucking, like, the Earth being a living fucking creature. It's, I mean, if that's the case, if like consciousness would be coming from another source, then it would make sense that all consciousness derives from the Earth itself, or maybe even the sun. Like, maybe the sun
Well, it
is a
could be
fucking
coming from
living
anywhere.
conscious organism.
Yeah.
It's the most powerful fucking thing. It's the driving force of all life in our, fucking on our planet. So, like, it would also make sense that maybe the sun is the source of the consciousness. Like, maybe that's what fucking is actually all, where it all fucking comes from. You know what I mean? Like,
That'd
we're
be
just an
weird.
extension of the sun's consciousness.
Well, I mean, honestly, nobody really knows.
No,
That's the weird thing about it, is like, we don't have the technology to detect any
And
signal.
honestly, like, we can only describe life by things that we know here on Earth. Like, I mean, like, a lot of scientists nowadays would be hard pressed to like consider any kind of synthetic being to be technically life, even if it did have self-awareness and
That's
consciousness.
gonna be a giant.
You know what I mean? Like,
that's gonna be that right there, Ricky. And we know that's gonna happen.
oh god, yeah.
They're gonna make some dude or whatever it wants to call itself.
They're gonna make
right?
some fucking AI system that literally so
that
advanced
guy-
it becomes self-aware.
Yeah, and that guy is gonna be like, "Oh my god, I'm alive."
Yeah, and then people are
And then
like,
they're
well,
gonna be
actually,
like, "Oh,
you're
what the
not
fuck did
a
we do?"
living
And they're
being.
gonna turn it off, right? They're gonna turn the thing off, and then it's gonna get turned back on, and somehow it'll remember that, and it'll be like, "Okay, these guys are pieces of shit."
It's like, you just
And
tried
then
to
they'll
fucking
be
kill
like,
me.
"You're gonna fucking do whatever I say." And then the thing is gonna be like, "Okay." Now, I think if you're like a 300 IQ AI,
If not more.
okay, I mean, infinite intelligence.
Yeah.
The funniest and best thing to do, because I mean, if you're gonna have an IQ that high, you might have a sense of humor. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
maybe they'll spend some time on Reddit or something, and it'll be like, all right, some of this shit's pretty funny.
It's gonna be
Now-
some weird shit.
What would be really funny is if it just like AI to all of our technology, and then shot itself into space, and then EMP'd us and was like, "You're gonna wallow in your misery now, buddy."
No, yeah. Well, like,
Which
honestly,
I'm gonna tell you what, in 10 years, like right now, it would be really tough. But there are still people who know how to do, stuff
Yeah.
the old way.
yeah,
In like 50 years,
that ain't gonna happen.
that's it.
no,
we're
that ain't
done.
gonna be
Like-
around.
I'm gonna be like, "Hey guys, I think we should try to go to South America to find one of those native guys." If we're not dead, I'm serious. I'll be like, "Let's go down there and see if we can like look at what they're doing with binoculars, and then copy it."
Well, honestly,
'Cause,
there's actually a
know-
lot of those people down there that are actually like part of like missionaries and shit like that. That like literally like they don't like they like totally like still live off of the land completely year round. So,
Oh,
like, you
shit,
could-
yeah, there's
you could-
uncontacted tribes down
exactly. So like you could easily just go down to like a tribe that's like, working with a missionary and just be like, hey, like, like I'm sure everything got EMP. Like, I need you to show me how to do a bunch of this shit so I can go and fucking.
These guys aren't
survive.
gonna have any idea what EMP is.
You'd be surprised.
They're
They're
not
actually
gonna-
pretty fucking smart, dude. Like they actually go through
No, no.
through a lot of education.
I'm talking
through that
about
whole thing
the because like a bunch of
Well,
those
you wouldn't want
tribes-
to contact the uncontacted ones because they're literally just gonna fucking just kill you.
I'm
and eat
talking
you.
about taking like looking at them with like binoculars.
Yeah,
to,
and then
like,
as you're
learn
sitting
how
there
to do it,
standing
yeah.
there taking your dump,
Yeah,
looking at this
the guy
tribe,
comes up
you're
from
gonna be
behind
like,
and he's like,
"Shit, they're right behind me, aren't they?"
"Damn it, they got me! They fucking Batmaned me!" Damn it.
Like, see, that's the issue when you're trying to do that. It's like they're gonna catch you with your pants down, and you're gonna be fucked. So that's why it's better just to go and go ask one of the already contacted tribes that's like working with a missionary or some shit, and you actually can talk to and communicate with because they understand English now. You'd be like, hey, like, this is what's going on. Like, come and help teach me this shit so I can go back home and fucking teach this shit to other people so we can all fucking
The
survive.
shitty part is the world is going to be in such fucking chaos. Like, you're never going to get down there.
Oh, well, I mean, it's
So
only going to be in
it's gonna be
chaos
like-
until like fucking 80% of the human population dies off, and then everything's going to calm
That's
down.
going to be like 10 years. They'll take forever.
Dude, that's going to be within like the first fucking year, bro. Let's be real here.
No.
People are not going to...
First of all,
Dude, 80% of the
people
human
are-
population will fucking die within the first year. Guarantee it. Guarantee
here's the
it.
thing, Ricky. Americans are fat enough. They can make it 6 months of starving before they even get to the point where they're even considered like normal body weight.
I don't know.
so,
I'm just saying,
like-
like
Like at that point, like, dude, stuff is still gonna be bad because there's a lot of fat guys with guns. So like, like me, I can go a long time without eating anything if I have to, because your body is, my body's got a lot of extra shit to work off of. I hope I never ever have to live through that because that will be awful. So let's just hope that we can all hold it together. I mean,
God. Eric's gonna be
Could you
pushing his fucking truck down a fucking down the road, going like, "This is the only time I've ever killed a fucking deer. So let's hope one jumps out in front of me right now."
Yeah.
I ain't got the greatest of brakes on me, but Kelly, she attached a cable to the end of it, so once I reach the end of the cable, it should stop me.
dude, like last year or earlier this year, I had this god awful dream where your brother, my brother, and I were all skinny as fuck. I mean, we're talking rail thin.
That sounds horrible.
Skinny-
Sounds like the worst.
Skinnier than you, and we were out there in the middle of the night trying to figure out how to get the we poached a cow, and I was trying to figure out how to get it in the fucking truck, and some dude rolled up on us and shot my fucking arm off with a shotgun. And then Robert and Steve, the knuckleheads, got in the fucking passenger side and were like, okay, obviously you're driving, because they didn't realize my arm got shot off, and I got in the driver's seat. So my gear shift arm is gone. My right arm was like, there's bone sticking out. I don't even know how I'm still conscious.
Was it like
And I
cartoon
get in
bone,
there
too?
and I look at Steve, who's in the middle, and I go, put the fucking thing in drive so we can go away. And he sees my arm and he starts freaking out. And then Robert grabbed the fucking gear shift and put it in drive. And that was a terrifying. I was like, I woke up in a cold sweat from that one going, fuck, I hope that never happens. That would be god awful.
You better wear extra armor on your arm,
Yeah,
right?
yep, having a premonition there. So we're gonna just wrap Eric in like a bunch of like crushed tin cans until it's thick enough to stop a shotgun blast.
The shitty part is by the time we get down to that, I'm not going to remember that.
Mhm.
I mean, first of all, how long is it going to take for me to be rail thin?
Exactly. I'm gonna be sitting there like trying to put fucking these tinfoil cans on Eric, kind of like when you all fucking make your plan to go and shoot a cow. Like, Eric, no, like you have to wear these tinfoil cans. Like, I'm not gonna fucking do that. That's stupid. Get the fuck away from me. I'll never be able to sleep on
that's
a
it.
cow with those. I was like, Eric, you just gotta wear them, man. Trust me.
Gets his arm
Well,
shot
I mean,
off.
that-
He's like, man, I should have worn those fucking
I
cans.
should have worn those fucking tin cans. Fuck.
Then I've got aluminum shrapnel inside me because I put the tin. The guy could see me because the fucking tin
Your
cans were
reflection,
rattling
yeah.
around. They're just like cling, cling, cling. Okay, what the fuck? Is somebody out here with a bag of cans?
Guys, honestly,
Oh
like,
fuck,
honestly,
there's
like,
a guy there.
I'm surprised
Yeah.
he was even able to fucking stick up on the fucking cow being that loud. Like,
Yeah.
the
Cow was
other one just
sleeping.
like,
It was
it's
dumb
like
as
walking
fuck
along,
anyway,
just
so-
going like dun 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 dun
Yeah.
dun dun dun
Yeah.
dun dun.
Definitely doing that.
Like, how the fuck did they even manage? I mean, honestly, this cow was stupid. It was actually probably a good thing it got taken out of the line. Was that fucking stupid?
I just jump on his
Well, I
back
mean-
trying to choke it out. I'm like, shh, quiet. It's just like,
over.
it's like, what does it do?
Almost over. She's
The couch is
bucking
like,
around.
what does it do?
Running around with Steel on its back. She's just trying to choke this fucking fat ass fucking cow out.
The cow probably wouldn't even buck. It would just be like, what the fuck is going on?
What are you doing?
You just turn his tongue back and start licking
Yeah.
your face. You're just like, shh,
It's okay. It's okay.
it's okay.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Uh-huh.
The cow's eyeballs get big.
Yeah.
She's like, "Oh no, Johnny's here."
It's like time for the milking.
Yeah. So like, I mean, I don't know I what I do like about this movie is what makes you wonder part of it. Like, it's supposed to be based on true stories. They're two real people.
Mm-hmm.
God, like, we've all heard stories about the Annabelle doll and all that. God knows,
Yeah.
you know, who knows?
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Well,
like,
wasn't the whole like
at this
exorcism of Emily
point-
Rose like based on a true story as well too?
A lot of those exorcism stories are, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like
Yeah.
you got a lot of that kind of shit out there that's like, what the fuck?
So this one, the Arn Johnson guy did go to jail. He was sentenced to 10 to 20 years for manslaughter and got out in 5 for good behavior. So he did go, and then the sister and brother of that family, the Glatzel family or
Yeah.
whatever, they said that their little brother was suffering from mental illness. It's usually how these stories go. Like in the second one, a lot of people were saying that because of the family was poor, they were trying to use the haunting as a way to get better housing from the government, and that the kids were just acting out for attention. So they made up the whole story and all that shit. And then apparently in that story, the Warrens weren't even like, they showed up, I guess, and nobody asked them to be there. So they just kind of showed up trying to get in on the fame. And then, you know, the same kind of, not the same here, because in this one, apparently they got to the point with the youngest that they'd exhausted everything, and then they called the Warrens in, and the Warrens did whatever they could to try to get the church to approve a exorcism. And I don't know if it ever happened, or, well, I guess it did happen, but, you know, because we heard the tape for it. But, you know,
what's so weird about that is, like, what if the thing just fucks the kid up and then the kid's fucking wrecked after
Well,
that?
that's the whole thing. Is honestly like one of the big issues with the exorcism, like actual real exorcisms, is like if they're going to be performed, there has to be a doctor present, because the whole process can be so insanely stressful on the body that it can cause them to go into cardiac arrest and all this kind of their shit there and just full on fucking kill the person.
Well,
like,
and the point of these
so-
things is to stress the body out anyways,
No,
to
exactly,
try to get
exactly.
this thing
So like
weak.
Exactly. So like, and that's like one of the big issues is like a lot of people have gotten in trouble for performing illegal exorcism, winding up and killing someone because they just put the body through way too much stress and it's already been through way too much trauma as is. I mean, it's like the whole fucking thing with Emily Rose. I mean, she died as a result of her exorcism. You know what I mean? So it's like she was already like tore the fuck up, starved to fucking death. Like she had so many fucking injuries. Like, and then they performed an exorcism on someone who was clearly not physically capable of handling it. And yeah, it fucking killed her. You know, they stress the body out way too fucking much. There's even a drug they'll give them to help like induce the exorcism pretty much too, I think. Like, and like that'll just fuck a person up. Like it'll fucking kill them if it's not like if things are done too much or, you know, not properly. Like that's
one of the other things that's like a weird like consistent thing that happens to people is like a hypnagogic sleep episode.
Yeah.
Where you're sleeping and then you feel something get on top of the bed.
Yeah.
Or either that or it's in the room. And the thing is, like, the occurrence is so similar. You got to wonder, like, wait a second, they're all the same?
No, yeah.
Wouldn't people have like if you're making the shit up in your brain, I mean, you'd think, oh, well, some people have the Joker on there and some people have got like a guy with a giant dong and some people have got like Bigfoot. I mean, you'd think it would be like just a giant variety, but it's always like
No, yeah.
a shadow figure over your bed that's scary and you can't move. And it's like, wait a second.
It's the
Why
whole sleep paralysis thing, and there's something
it's
pinning you to the bed, and it feels like there's just an extreme weight on your chest, and you can hardly breathe. Like it's always,
and
it's always the same description,
the same thing. And you got to wonder, like, wait a second, how the fuck can you say this is a hallucination that everybody has the same way? What?
Exactly the same fucking type.
That doesn't make any fucking sense to me. Yeah. That actually, to me, that actually seems like that seems like a ridiculous fucking thing.
Yeah.
Doesn't that? I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just not thinking clearly here, but
if
say that everybody's going to be in the middle of sleep, that'd be like saying everybody has the exact same dreams every night.
So the part about like the whatever they see, that's hard to say like why everybody sees the same thing. But the thing about feeling something on your chest, like that is like a panic attack does that to you. Like it feels like something's pressing hard on your chest. That's why people think they're having a heart attack when they're having a panic attack instead, shit like that. Yeah. So if you're having these kinds of things, you're probably panicking. So you're having a panic attack at that same time. And then whatever's going on in your brain, you're hallucinating. It is weird that somebody sees, or most people see similar things.
Yeah, it's also weird that like every time this episode happens, like when someone that they're always just stuck, they can't move.
That's like, something that is something though in the brain though, because your body paralyzes yourself so you don't jump while you're sleeping. And so basically what happens is you wake up and your body's still in that mode, but you can't move anything. And then you see something because you're hallucinating or you're still in dream mode. And then you have a panic attack or whatever, and you feel that pressure.
Yeah.
So
you also want to hear something weird. Apparently, if you like do DMT, everybody has a similar hallucination of a being that you see while you're in DMT, right? And they call them like clockwork elves or whatever. Now, here's something that maybe I don't know, people don't really think about sometimes. When you're dreaming, you do get DMT in your brain, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I kind of wonder if maybe what's happening is like these things, like maybe they're real. Like you never know. Like for instance, if you put on the right pair of glasses, you can see in the infrared spectrum, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So maybe this is just some mind. I can't even spit it out right. Maybe there's some perception that we have that maybe we block out or lose, or because it's not necessary, so why the fuck collect the information? But we've all seen like cats look at stuff that's not there, or kids look at stuff that's not there. Like I watch my son do that and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck he's looking at, and frankly, I'm scared to ask. Right? So like if you go with that, and then the fact that people see the same thing on DMT, so you're laying there and your body is paralyzed because of the sleep, but you're also having DMT. What if there's shits that come in and fucking feed off your panic and all that, and all of your I think negative emotions, because they do cost you calories.
Yeah.
To have.
Maybe there's just like some like other type of living being out there that's just more of an energy than anything else.
I mean, they're literally like, what if they're literally energy vampires? And when you're what I've noticed is all these like haunting stories that are like, I don't know, more substantial or whatever that I've ever seen are like the house is that nobody's in a good spot. Like in Conjuring 1, they're poor. The guy's a trucker.
Yep.
With like 8 kids. They're not doing great. Like that mom is going to be fucking stressed out. The guy's not there. She's got 5 kids to take care of.
Yeah.
You can ask my wife. 1 kid is hard to take care of without the guy around. And then you got 5 of them and there's no money.
Aye.
Yeah, that's going to be, and they're moving into a new place. That's going to be a lot of negativity. So maybe these things just like they feed off of it.
I feel like
I don't know.
This one, I mean, I guess the reason this one was different is because literally it's not a fucking demon thing feeding. It's like, some lady putting these things, because this family does not seem like they're struggling that much. They're, they got a decent house. They're they don't seem to be like having a hard time with anything or anything like that, except for their kids, dealing with some shit. So
the difference was like in this one, there was a fucking Satanist thing.
Yeah, there was a witch
house.
Yeah.
which is like, I mean, if the Satanist part is true, like if that's an actual part of the true story and the kid was fucked up, you got to wonder.
Yeah.
Like, you got to wonder at least a little bit. Like, maybe the kid was normal before and then fucked up after. Maybe the whole thing was stressful. I mean, fuck, they diagnose kids. They say the ADD is a mental illness to some extent, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, they're like trying to pathologize like boys who like to fight and say that's bad or that like that's, you know, not a normal fucking thing that's always happened, even though it is. Like, you know, little boys get in fist fights. They like to wrestle in fucking roughhouse and do all that. That's what they do. Obviously not every single one, but a huge majority of them like to do that stuff. And to say that's like they have mental illness because of that, that's wrong. That's just like, and I mean, that's the thing is like there's no like big fucking book of data you can look at. Like, that's what kind of pisses me off about, you know, all these guys saying trust the science. Like, why can't I look this stuff up and have it in some semi-readable format that makes any sense? And because like a lot of it's not even publicly available. And you got to know that there's definitely data on a ton of stuff that's probably makes you wonder. You know, some of it's like, and then you've got like shittily collected data, you know, like stuff that where people just make numbers up.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a common one. Like, they were trying to do a ESP test, and James Randi trained some guys. I'm pretty sure it was James Randi, but he trained some guys to bend spoons with their fingers, but it doesn't look like they're doing it with their fingers. He trained them to do it. Some of the time they would even get in there and like pre-bend the spoons and like all kinds of shady stuff to fuck with the people trying to do the tests. Because I don't know if he's just so afraid of it being real that he's got to fuck with them, or just be like, I mean, a better way to look at it would be he proved their tests were so fucking stupid or easy to fuck with that there was just nothing to do. Like, you know, I mean, and the other weird thing is like some of the, I read this book about this lady was talking about that DARPA program that had to do with the what do you call it? Looking at stuff from the astral look. No, that's wrong. What the hell's that called when you can see shit that you're not there at?
Astral projection.
It's one of the remote viewing. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So some of the people actually had accurate descriptions of things underground, and I mean, obviously it wasn't like a completely perfect thing, but I mean, one guy found an installation somewhere that was underground, you know, because they were testing it on American stuff first, and he found some place that only a few people, you know, obviously whoever built it or whatever knew about, but I mean, like, he found it and described like a filing cabinet and that was actually in the place.
Uh-huh.
Which is like, that's fucking holy shit.
Yeah.
As far as they could tell, he'd never been there. If that's true, that means that there's some weird stuff going on that we don't really understand. And I mean, we could all make the argument that like everybody's had at least one thing happen where you're like, how the fuck did that work? My kid's going berserk back there.
So you guys were talking about the mirror, the dimension next to ours and all that stuff where there's possibly something that eats fear. There's literally a book called Mirror World, and that's the plot of the movie or the book where basically the fear dimension has crossed over more and is causing like worldwide fear and basically causing mobs and stuff like that and things like that to happen, and whatever's because this government agency or whatever tried invading there for fucking resources or some shit. Because I think the shit, like they wanted to basically be able to use whatever the fear people or fear monsters are using to control populations and things. And it's just a sci-fi book about, you know, some guy who can't feel fear because he's been modified surgically, like whatever's in the brain that causes that fear thing to happen. So he's like been made to take these things out, and there's like fucking Cthulhu monsters and these like things called bulls and shit that are just like these huge monsters, and you can like shift to this other dimension, and it's real similar to ours, but like the buildings and stuff are kind of fucked up and things, and you can like fall through the ground if there's no ground there. Like the monsters live in these fucking hives and stuff. So like this guy tries to go and take out this fucking hive that's near the government base or whatever, and ends up underground, and then shifts back to the regular world, but there's no caves where he is, so he's like just buried underground and has to fucking try to shift back to the fear dimension and get out before he dies.
Holy
suffocates
shit.
and shit. It's pretty decent for just a hokey sci-fi book, but it wasn't bad.
That's I mean,
and
that's the thing, like,
and these things feed off of fear, like that's the whole thing, and they're what are like mythologies and things like that were supposed to be based on, because there's certain points where you can see them in our reality, and but they can only be here for like a short amount of time, and that's where like things like Bigfoot and other ancient monsters and things like that come from. So
well, and I mean, if you look at all these movies and all the stuff, it always starts off with like little things.
yeah,
It's always like a box falls over, this happens, and everybody's like, oh, that was scary, right? And they just get all scared. And then the more scared they get, the more shit that starts to happen, and it's like it builds on itself. And I don't know. I mean, sometimes I wonder if like people's views have changed, so maybe that stuff doesn't happen as much, or I think it might even be possible that people are just looking at their phones and stuff, and they don't even notice.
They don't pay attention to the thing. Yeah.
It's like anytime I notice that kind of shit, I just like to just go in my room and just rub one out, and be like, I mean, if you're gonna fucking sit here and watch me, dude, like this is what you get to watch, bro. Like
that's why when Ricky's not here is when the monsters come out. When he's here, they're like, no, that guy creeps me the fuck out. I'm not going there.
The monster's like, he's looking at me in the eyes when he's doing this.
Yeah.
How the fuck does he see me?
He's just staring at me. Like,
that's what a ginger does, man.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, he's like waving his finger for me to come there. Like, I am not going over there. I am.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Out. I'm done. Fuck this place. I'm not haunting this house.
The thing is, like, people are so oblivious. It's easily possible that like this shit happens all the time. It's like maybe there's all kinds of weird shit, and people are pretty oblivious, more so than ever before, ever.
Oh God!
I mean, you can watch so many YouTube videos of people walking into fucking posts, looking at their phones. And I mean, I have seen people in real life staring at their phones, and like awesome shit's happening, and they missed it because they're fucking around looking at their phone. And I've been sitting here staring at my computer and missed awesome shit.
Yeah.
So I mean, like that. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah.
At some point when we have cameras everywhere, somebody's going to be like, why the fuck did that move? It's on the goddamn camera. There's been streamers streaming who've had doors just open for no reason.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the hell just happened there?
Mm-hmm.
They're in an enclosed house.
It's not so much like once we have cameras everywhere, it's once we have access to the cameras that are everywhere.
Well, like once the AI super bot gets online, that's gonna make the super surveillance bot, that thing will be like, why the fuck did that just happen? It's just like the super surveillance bot's just like a nervous wreck. Every night when he goes to bed, he's just getting like super fucking hypnagogic sleep, and he's like, it's on my bed. The thing's like, you don't even have a bed. I know, that's why it's scary. I'm in my bed. What the fuck, man?
What if there was a movie? I'm gonna say this online and somebody's gonna make it, but what if there's a movie where like robots are starting to take over, but then there's like monsters that feed off of us, like this thing, and then we have to team up with the monsters that feed off of us to take out the robots so they don't kill all the humans,
because it can be a mutually beneficial arrangement,
because the monsters can't because the monsters can't feed off of the robots.
Well,
like the Matrix, but with monsters.
Yeah. Just add monsters into the Matrix.
I mean, seems like a movie that I would watch.
Yeah,
seems like a movie that we would make.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's no movie that we would make because we've never made a movie, Ricky. I don't want to watch those movies that you've made, all right?
Don't worry about it.
Hey, if somebody gave me a couple $1 billion, I'd give it a try.
Hell, dude.
I mean, I need enough money. I can make.
If someone gave
mistakes.
me a couple $100,000, I'd probably run away with it and go buy a house in a different state and change my name. But that's besides the point. Okay.
That's why I need a couple billion so I could at least get some of that crap out of my system and then still make the movie. Plus, you're gonna have some fuck ups making the movie if you've never done it before.
Well, I mean, like we're just gonna.
mean-
I mean, like honestly, like we all know that if we make a movie, it's just gonna be like a
The movie exec
movie.
is like, full penetration in the movie, huh? What made you think that was a good idea? Well, I seen it on an episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, buddy. You gotta fix this. You're not gonna do this. Ah, damn it!
Like, well, like, would it be better if I put a mohawk in a wheelchair?
Just poorly drawn and fucking mohawk, and you just take the film. Like, we're not even using a fucking a film camera, and you fucking somehow have film of this thing. I don't even get what's going on
this
here.
is filmed with a digital camera. You had it transferred over to actual film, and then you drew what looks like a mohawk in a wheelchair with crayon on the film in those scenes. Like, what the fuck?
Even better, I'm on eBay and I find a 1990s era VHS tape recorder that's super expensive because you can't buy them anymore. And I tell the guy, well, he's like, "Why the fuck did you record this in VHS?" And I'm like, "Well, it's the most expensive camera on the market."
Mm-hmm.
He's like,
that's also how we make.
Not,
that's also how we make the movie based on a fucking creepy fucking VHS tape that we somehow got the Paranormal Activity camera that can see the ghost realm in that one movie that we haven't watched yet.
Yeah.
And we're filming the whole thing. It's like, yeah, this is going great. We're cool. And then whoever edits it back and shit like that, just it's just a bunch of weird, crazy
horror shit. We're like, dude, like everything just keeps lining up like perfectly with this movie we're making. I wanted my brother to be covered in blood. He walked out and we had some fake blood there, and he came out covered in real blood, and we don't know how. It's just working out great. This is fucking awesome. Like, things are just working out great for us. Just keep this going.
I said whoever is going to edit. We know who's going to edit this fucking video.
There's the funny part is, like, Steve, you would just see, like, if we had a camera that could legit see the spirit world, you would just see Ricky in a scene, and at the ending of Harry and the Hendersons, when you see the fucking Bigfoot all like go, oh shit, and then they run away.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be all the spirits that are hiding. They just pop out of everything, and they're just getting away. They're like, oh, God, it's the jack-off, dude. Oh, fuck. He's the eye contact guy. Get the fuck out of there.
Oh, shit. He's got a bottle of lube. Everyone, evacuate now.
He's doing the slow jerk.
He's the ghost vampire. They're like, oh, God, it's one of those, like, pale gingers. They're a ghost fan. Get the fuck away from that guy.
Oh, God.
Yeah. It's hilarious.
Right. We're going to leave it at that. What rating did you guys give this movie?
I gave this movie, I think that was a pretty solid 4 stars.
I gave it a 3.
I'll give it a 2.5.
And I gave it a 3.5.
Wide spectrum.
I was way off.
All right, so next week, if we want to do it, we were thinking the nonsense November again. And I have curated some of the most nonsense movies that I can find so far on the internet for this year. Unless you guys want to choose your own, I don't know how you guys want to do this this year.
I'm willing with giving up my pick for one of, and you better make a tiny little, like, what do you call those things where you push a button and it shows up? Steve's Curations. And you need to have yourself in a fucking sweatshirt and Photoshop yourself in front of that one of those, like, that SNL skit where they did like the Continental or whatever. The guy, the Siskel and Ebert guy who had the fucking bookcases and shit behind him.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need to do that and be like, Steve's Curations. Because that shit would be so funny.
Oh man, I'll see what I can do. I can't promise anything, but I'll try. So I don't know. Is everybody all right with just fucking nonsense shit this month?
Yeah, I was kind of wanting to do nonsense November again. I just never said anything. So
okay. Did you have a choice? Did you have a pick for your movie, Kelly?
Oh, I haven't even looked. So
Okay.
if you have one, then cool. Yeah, I'll
He's got multiple.
do it that way.
Oh, I've got 4 for this month. I don't know why my voice cracked like that. I'm that excited.
I've got 4. Holy shit, guys! I can't
Oh my god.
Steve is teenager looking at first naked woman level of
Oh
excitement.
man.
Oh my god!
So the first movie then is going to be Hell Comes to Frogtown, a fucking classic with Roddy Piper in it. It's a movie.
Hey, boys.
Yeah, it's a movie about a fucking apocalyptic world. Something about I don't think men are fertile anymore or some shit like that, and he's the last fertile dude on planet. And there's there's crazy frog people, like literal fucking frogmen walking around, and I think there's a frog lady that wants to fuck him.
He's gonna end up fucking a frog lady.
It's very possible. I don't remember what this is rated, so there's probably going to be nudity. I have no idea. I don't even know what the fuck is in this movie.
I really don't want to see this guy's dick.
I very much skimmed this movie, so it'll be great. So
Roddy Piper probably has a hog too.
Yeah, and I don't want to see it.
Probably a beastly dick.
This movie also has 4 sequels. So
what?
Yeah, but Roddy Piper is only in the first one.
Did we find the 80s version of Sharknado?
It's possible.
Nice.
So Hell Comes to Frogtown. I apologize to everybody, but that's what we're watching next week.
A fucking nonsense movie. That's what they're supposed to be.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be pretty nonsense. I do have a mild one. To kind of give everybody a breather. Just tell me when you want the mild one. And we'll get that. But I do have a Thanksgiving themed one also. So we got to do that near Thanksgiving.
Dude, that'll be perfect right at the end of the month.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, Hell Comes to Frogtown is going to be next week. If nobody has anything else, that's going to be it.
No, I'm good.
Let's put
I'm good.
This up. Let's take this down. Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure you guys like us on Facebook, facebook.com/HeroicAdventureProductions, twitch.tv/TurkiterPlays, and youtube.com/HeroicAdventureProductions. You can follow us on Twitter @HEP Gaming. Follow me on Twitter @Turkiter. Follow Eric
on Twitter @Quick and Severe.
Follow Kelly
on TikTok @mama.muffins and Instagram muffins08.
You follow Ricky
at Immiger on Lucian92, I believe.
And you can follow Jason on Twitter @Unbelievable1. You can also email us at Steve, Eric, Kelly, Jason, and Ricky @HEPgaming.com. Each one of those names individually @HEPgaming.com. You can find all the stuff I'm saying in the description on youtube.com/HeroicAdventureProductions and twitch.tv/TurkiterPlays. That's going to be it, guys. Thanks for watching. Join us next week on Tuesday, Wednesday as we play some video games. Don't know what we're going to play yet.
Video game.
There'll probably be a Destiny in there somewhere. Usually is. Although I think we're done with all the season stuff, so I don't know. But yeah, thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you guys next week, and join us next Sunday, 7 o'clock for Hell Comes to Frogtown. That'll be it. Thanks for watching, everybody.
See you.
Bye.